Hello and welcome to ChinnyVision, this time collecting jewels for Cyborg Queen. The Amstrad CPC is in a system that's always blessed with lots of new games. There's been a few, but not as many as perhaps the C64 and the Spectrum, so always a delight to see that there's been a new game released. And this game is called Jewel Warehouse and is by Ego Trip from the CPC Wiki forum, and is a conversion of a game that Ego Trip wrote for the Nintendo DS, I believe, a couple of years ago. Loading this up my C4 CPC and got a loading screen. The instructions simply say the Cyborg Queen's arrival is imminent. Amy must gather all the power jewels she has collected and stored in her warehouse. And you can get this as a tape file for your Amstrad CPC. I believe there's a disc file as well. But this has actually been converted to run from cartridge, so hence I can run it from my C4 CPC, as it's the quickest way for me to load up a game. And jaunty tune on the menu screen. You can select your level start. I'm going to start from level 1 and off we go. It all moves very quickly. There's a very tight time limit in each level. Collect all the jewels. You can't jump. All you can do is go left, down, up or right. And simply, when you've got all the jewels, you run back to the exit. And if you complete a level with 10 seconds to go, you get an extra jewel. There's 42 levels. And to complete the game, you've got to complete all the levels, collect all 10 jewels on each level, and then get all the bonus jewels as well. The game starts off fairly simply. The main thing is just working out your route around the level and collecting the jewels. So here we are on level 3, different colour scheme for each level. And this is where you begin to have to start to think, because those arrows that I'm on at the moment only let you go one way. So you start to have to plan your way around the level. There's not a lot of thinking time. However, if you die, you can restart the level, so you don't have to go back to the beginning of the game, which is handy really, because you could get quite frustrated because you've only got one life. When you've got all 10 jewels, a door appears and you have to jump through it before the time limit runs out. So I've collected a little thing now, and I think that lets me put out those fireballs by pressing fire. I learnt that via trial and error on an earlier run through of the game. Some of these levels did take me several attempts to get through at first, but I've had a play before doing this video for the review. So again, run down the ladders and off to the end of level. 4 seconds to go. Same tune on each level. It's a jaunty affair, nice tune. Perhaps when you've been playing the game for a little while, as I have, it begins to get on your nerves a little bit because it's a little bit repetitive. Small criticism. You know, it's hardly the end of the world. And these platforms on this level disappear, so again, you've got to plan your way through the level, and then a door appears. And on to level 6. I can remember how to get there on this one. You haven't got a lot of thinking time with these time limits. So some of the guys in the CPC... Oh no, I've fallen down there. So I had to press escape and quit out, and let's try this level again. Get all the jewels and push the blocks down the right order this time. The game's running in the Amstrad's medium resolution mode with 4 colours. Means you get the nice detailed graphics. You don't get too many colours though, because it's only 4 colour. But even so, the palette choices are very nice and very atmospheric for each level. Right, the exits appear. I've got 6 seconds, 5 seconds to get across this level. Can I do it? 3. Come on. Ah, bah. The time limits do seem a little bit tight. Some of the guys in the CPC Wiki forums are completing the levels with lots of time left. And in fact, it's possible to complete all the levels with at least 10 seconds left, because you need 10 seconds left to get the bonus jewel on each level. But I'm finding it sometimes just a little bit tight. It is practice makes perfect. And you can come back to a level and do it again and try and improve on your time. That time I did it. Now we've got baddies that are moving around. Trying to avoid them. Jump in there, jump up there. Get on a ladder without being hit. You can't fire anything, although you can pick up those things that do various things, like kill the fireballs, or those. You can also pick up things that, when you've got those platforms that only go one way or the other, you can reverse the platform, the way that platform sends you. Moving this on to level 9. Nice pink colour scheme on here. There's a pickup there, that does something, and that enables me to fire on those fireballs. Again, because the palette, it's not always obvious those things are fireballs. And again, you generally learn in this game through trial and error. If you're expecting to be able to walk through each level without having to repeat some of them, in some cases several times, then you're wrong. And even then, you're going to need to come back and perhaps... So I finished that with 1 second there. Now, apparently you can complete that level with at least 10 seconds. So again, practice makes perfect. There's 42 levels in the game, and we're on level 10 now. And again, it just gently ramps up the difficulty level and the puzzle element. I was thinking what kind of game this would have been if it had been released back in the day for the Amstrad, and I'm guessing it would have been a high quality budget game, perhaps $2.99 on Mastertronic, although this is much better than most $2.99 games. I don't think there's enough here for it to have been a full price game. Actually, no, there's plenty of full price games that are... Oh no, I've fallen in the hole again. Got to keep on telling yourself when you're playing this, practice makes perfect. There's plenty of full price games for the Amstrad that aren't as polished and play as well as this, but certainly when I'm thinking of reviewing this, I'm thinking of this in terms of a very good quality budget game. The kind of games that we perhaps didn't see. I don't know, because the thing about this game is you've got all the tools that you've now got to develop CPC games. I believe this was developed on some new CPC development engine used for games. I could be wrong, I'm not too up on my CPC coding. I see those discussions on the forum and I kind of switch off. I'm more about using the system and playing the games and using the hardware. I've never been a coder, but I believe this is based on a new gaming engine for the CPC, although customised, I think, and it's very, very nice. On to level 11, and we've got lots of ladders and platforms and those little arrow things that only let you go in one direction. If I can get to the top left hand corner, I can... Oh no, trap there. Moved it on a bit, level 20, and now it starts to get really hard. Don't let those early levels deceive you that this is an easy game. It is not an easy game once you start to get into it. And you can level select. You can start on any level from the menu screen. So you don't have to start on level 1. You can start on level 42 if you want to. And there is a very nice difficulty ramp in the game. So, Dual Warehouse. It's a very polished new puzzler for the Amstrad CPC. And it's downloadable free of charge either on tape or cartridge, or I believe disc format as well, so anybody can play it from a 464 owner to a GX4000 owner. Ego Trip's done a really good job here. One thing I haven't mentioned so far is how well each of the levels are planned out. It's all very well talking about the graphics and the sound and everything else and how polished the game comes across. Ego Trip really seems to have an eye for laying out a puzzler game. It's fairly intuitive where to, certainly in the earlier levels, where to go around. Some of the later levels you need to think a little bit more. I did initially feel that perhaps some of the time limits were a little bit too harsh, but I'll say it again, practice makes perfect. All of these levels are completable. It's just a question of how you approach the level. The game's never unfair. It's hard in places, but you just need to think about it and just practice the level and improve on your time. And this is a game I think you'll be coming back to. So far in 2016, this is the best new game I've seen on the Amstrad CPC, and I strongly suggest you download this game today and play it for yourself.